guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be doing some work here in the cut flower garden. No planting yet. In fact, yesterday when we were out here, we kind of ran into a snag. We were going to start planting the linden trees and then just decided, you know what? I think we just need to clear the space first so that we can run lines and make sure that we are planting everything as precise as we can. And Benjamin's here too. He's currently punching the T-post. Is that hurting your hands? No? Good. So, you know, we've got the 4 quadrants here, all of which we're going to be planting the same with boxwoods and linden trees. And we're going to be having walkways that line up with one another that go from one quadrant to the next. So I do think it's going to be easier just to kind of clear things out and start with a blank slate. And if you take a close look at our zinnia crop here, most of it's kind of past its prime. If you pick through, you can find a few nice-ish blossoms here and there, but it's largely just an area that needs to be cleared. There's some cosmos in there. Again, a few nice flowers if you scrounge around, but most of them look spent. We haven't froze yet. We've been down to 33 and 35, I think 2 nights so far, and then in the high 30s for several nights. And it's been just cool enough to kind of take some of these things down a little bit, which does make it a little easier to pull them out when they kind of look a little sad. We'll save the dahlias till the very end. And I'm kind of hoping we have a cold enough night to take them so I don't feel so bad taking them out. Although at this point of the year, I mean, you might be gaining yourself a few days if you leave a crop in. And since we've got a fun project in the works for this space, I think it's just time. Before we start clearing out, because that's pretty much what we're doing. It's not going to be super exciting stuff, but necessary. I mean, we're going to be working on this area and these rows right here so that this whole space is cleared. But before we do that, we need to clear out the back of the gator. Paul and Bethany and Benjamin worked on clearing out these sunflowers the other day. These are the sunspot variety. And you can see all of these beautiful sunflower seeds. So Benjamin and I are going to go set these out in the dirt lands. You ready, dude?
Dirtland?
Yeah. For the birds and the squirrels. We like to just lay them just flat on the ground. And then the animals can come and feast.
Yeah, it's their feast. It's their dinner.
It is their dinner.
Well, actually, it's their lunch.
Yeah. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to need a cleared out gator anyway, so we have room to fit all of our debris. Aaron and Samantha are going to come join us as soon as we're done with this project. What do you think about just popping them right over here, bud?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yep, so I was just thinking maybe, bud, we just kind of pop them on the ground. Boom.
Let's set them down. Like this. Nicely.
Set them gently?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that.
So they don't get hurt.
I don't think they'll get hurt, bud. They're pretty tough. You can see all the flowers. We always wait until the backs look like this. They're kind of yellow and they start getting brown spots. That's when you know that the sunflower seeds are ready. Look at that. It's just amazing to me.
I put that big one down.
You put the big one down? See?
Hey.
All right, so now the squirrels and birds can feast.
Yeah.
And Benjamin set aside 5 for our chickens. So we're gonna go give our chickens a little treat here.
This raid chickens and we're gonna bring 5. This is one.
Yeah, that's a weird sunflower that never opened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that one's deal is. Hey, girls. Hey, here they come.
Are you ready to have a feast? Here you go.
Here you go, girls. All right, let's go get the other 2. They'll be checking these out for a little bit.
Get the eggs.
Okay. Oh, you know what? No, leave them for Samantha. I promised her she could get the eggs today. Let's grab the other sunflowers. Okay, my helper changed. Benjamin went inside to call Nana, so Samantha's out here to help, right? You brought your tool and everything. Good job. You can pull whatever you want, Aaron. You so excited?
Yes.
I'm going to start probably on this stuff here because it's the mangiest looking.
Okay.
And then maybe we can start in and see how far we can get over here. Aaron's going to do the honors.
Look at Ma.
Comes up pretty easy, huh? So as far as supplies go, we do have a shovel out here just in case we run into some tough roots. We've also got our leaf tarp right here that we'll utilize, gloves, but mostly it's just going to be pulling these plants out and just a little bit of elbow grease. So we're going to start in and see how far we can make it. How's it going?
Kind of hate it just a
You
little
want
bit.
to light it on fire?
Yeah. Well, that's a good idea. We should just pour diesel on it. Probably against like some EPA regulation.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. We're actually making pretty good progress. Erin has made it down 2 rows of flowers, over halfway. And Samantha and I have made it from the beginning of the row up to about this point right here. I wanted to stop real quick because there's a couple of things that you'll notice I'm going to save for just a minute. These 2 Lisianthus plants were kind of protected under some other ones and they look really good. So I thought it would be a fun experiment to dig these and pot them and put them in the greenhouse just to see what would happen. I don't know, but they actually have nice looking blooms. This one's full of buds. The other blooms, even though there's color on the other plants, they were all kind of damaged from the cold. And Lisianthus are pretty cold tolerant plants, but yeah, they just didn't look the best. And then I'm also going to leave the Quartet Rainbow stalk because I want to gather seeds from it. It's just the best performing stalk I have ever grown. It looks like this all summer long. It just keeps throwing up stalks, huge stalks of these big fluffy blooms. What'd you find?
I got that for the ladybugs and spiders, and so they can go under that home, so they can have a lunchtime under there.
Where at?
In there.
Oh, a lunchtime under the little umbrella. That's really sweet, babe.
A lunchtime under there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I think they would like that.
I do think they'd like that as well.
Yeah, I made it.
Good job. So anyway, if you look at the plant here, you can see some of these are actually ready. Some of the seed pods right here. Let's crack this one open. This camera isn't the best at showing close up, but when you open this, there's actually 2 sides to this pod. There's the first side open. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seeds right there. And then on the other side, well, 2 of them just flipped off, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on that side. So 14 seeds in that one pod, and they just produce a ton of pods. And this variety, I did look it up at one point, and it said it was open pollinated, which means you can gather the seeds from it and then plant them the next year, and then you will get the same variety. And that's one of the reasons why I only grew this variety out here. I didn't want it to cross pollinate with anything else. And usually I grow, 5 or 6 varieties of stock. This one is the best performing one though too, and the other ones just like they perform in the spring when it's cooler, and then they just kind of peter out a little bit in the summertime while this one doesn't. So anyway, I'm excited to gather seeds from these. Last year I didn't get to it until too late, and the seed pods were all soggy, and yeah, the seeds didn't turn out so great. So I'll come back out here in the next day or 2 and start harvesting these pods, as many as I can, and then I'll just let the rest of the plants do their thing until hopefully we just get a ton of pods from them. You can see like this whole branch, these are not ready yet. They need to dry and mature, but this one branch has a ton of pods on it. But the rest of this can go. So anyway, we're just gonna keep on working. I think we'll get it pretty quick. Erin, are you taking a break?
Contemplating my decision-making paradigm.
You're contemplating your life right now? You got a large pile down there. One more row of zinnias left?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, we didn't get 100% done, but I think we're going to take a little bit of a break. We've got basically just 1 row of zinnias left and a little patch at the end there. But it's the weekend, and we started this project late, so we kind of figured that we would end up doing a little bit this afternoon and then a little bit tomorrow as well. I got to get dinner started. I've got ribs marinating right now, and I need to go pick some acorn squash. It should be really tasty. So we will be back out here to tackle the rest of this quadrant tomorrow. All right, we are back at it. I don't think this is going to take us all that long because we just have this section here and then the rest of the row. And what we did yesterday, what do you think we spent out here, Erin? Like an hour and a half?
It wasn't that long.
It really wasn't. So I'm thinking maybe like an hour we'll be out here. It depends on if we decide to pull up all the drip tape today. But after this, I am going to gather as many seed pods as I can off the stalk. We'll repot the Lisianthus, and I think Aaron's gonna mow the grass. So it's gonna be a busy afternoon. So here we go. Oh my goodness, look at this. Isn't that amazing? So just a few little things left in that corner, but the zinnias, cosmos, sunflowers are gone, all the other things. So we're really getting close to being able to start planting. We just need to tackle the few other things, the dahlias and perennials and such. And the thing I love about this is that, I hadn't seen what the fountain looks like from the house because I couldn't see it. By the time we set it up, there were already things growing in here and the view of it was sort of blocked. Well, this morning I noticed after we got the sunflowers Paul and Bethany removed, and then after we got that row of cosmos out yesterday, it opened up just enough space to where I could see the fountain from the house. And I just love that. And I love that in the future, that's probably what we're going to be able to see a little bit more, because while the trees will be shorter now because they're littler, we will have them limbed up so that you can kind of see underneath, you can see the fountain, you can see the flower shed from the house, and it's just going to be so fun. So of course we're going to need to come through, do a little bit of raking and smoothing out and such, but we can do all of that once 100% of the drip and all of that has been lifted. In fact, in the rose garden quadrant, I forgot that we put landscape fabric under the walking paths. So Paul worked on, you can see the 3 rows that he got it out of. It kind of roughed up all of the mulch that was on top of it. So it looks like we need to do 1, 2, 3, there's 4 more runs of landscape fabric that will need to come up in here, and then we'll be done with this quadrant minus moving this container. We will not save this drip tape because this is actually a few seasons, maybe at least 2 seasons old. You can see all the hard water on it. It worked okay, but there were some areas where we had, well, lots of areas, look at this, where we had to do couplers to put new pieces in that functioned properly, or areas that had been nicked here and there. So we won't save the drip tape, but we will save all the connections. That's why I put it in a pile here. We'll work through this, get all the enders off, all the connectors off. And then, let's see, most of the couplers that are at the beginning of the row are still here. So we'll pull up, there's a supply line right along the front side here. So we'll take all of these couplers, which I shut them off. We don't have the drip running anymore, but shut them off just in case, and we'll remove those and use those again. And I've got a couple of pots and some potting soil for our Lisianthus, and then I just brought a little saucer out to gather up whatever pots we could off the stalk. So let's get that done. There they are. They look really pretty in these containers, and I hope they do well. I looked them over for bugs, and I don't see any evidence of bugs on these. I might spray them down with a little bit of name just to be certain before I take them into the greenhouse. And that's only because this area has been the most highly concentrated with thrips. So I don't want to introduce it more of a problem into another area of our garden. I did pop this wild branch off of this one right here just so that it looks really even in the container and I can use these in a vase. I'm so excited. And then these are the pods we got off the stock plants today. Some are really big and some are small and I don't expect to find any seeds in them, but we can crack open a few here real quick. So like in these long ones right here, I think there's going to be quite a number of seeds. Oh my word. And they're double-sided. So this side has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 seeds. Here's a close-up look right there. Look at all of those. Okay, let's do the other side of this one pod. So I'm going to scrape the seeds, these seeds, so we don't lose any of them, down into our container. We'll open up the other side. Oh, 2 seeds just fell. Oh, they're flipping out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I think about 4 fell down in here, so maybe 11. Look at all of those. That is so exciting. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Not very well. There's some nice big seeds in that one. Okay, let's crack open another one. Oh my goodness. Look at that one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. And the other side. They come flying out. Oh my goodness. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. But then, you know, we've got these really tiny ones. I don't think there's gonna be anything in here. Yep, nothing in those. That's amazing for just a few seed pods. I'm going to save the rest of these seed pods for a really crummy winter day. It's a perfect thing to work on when you want to stay warm, but you still want to, you know, kind of feel connected to plants in a way. So opening seed pods and getting all those seeds collected is a really fun thing to do. And these are all dried out, so I don't need to set them anywhere special. They'll just sit here in this saucer though, and they'll get plenty dry by the time we get to them. And there are so many more pods left on those plants. I would say that the majority of the pods are still green and on the plant. So I hope that with how nice our 10-day looks, I hope they have a chance to mature and dry so we can gather the rest of those. We'll have a ton of seed. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for yesterday and today's project. I'm really happy with everything we got done here, and I don't think the rest of it's going to take us too much longer because most of it we're just kind of tearing out. There's some delphiniums and echinacea. I think those are the only 2 things left that I would like to dig up and transplant, but they're smaller sections, so I don't think it's going to take us too long. And you know, in a normal year where I'm not kind of anxious to do an overhaul project on the space, I would leave everything until a killing frost took it. But sometimes you just have to do things a little bit early, even if there's a little bit of color left on the plants, because it works into the schedule better. And I know I've been seeing people online, they're already digging their dahlias even when they're full of color. It's just like, if you have time to do it now, and you know, you might lose maybe a week, 10 days of color, but if it works out better to do it earlier, do that. Definitely. So anyway, I think we're going to leave you with some footage of Aaron mowing the lawn because he just did that and it looks beautiful, and I think he did a really good job on the lines. It's super satisfying to watch that sort of thing. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.